Hey everyone! Today, we're diving into one of the most disturbing chapters in mutant history, the creation of the Stepford Cuckoos. While Emma Frost, the formidable White Queen, lay unconscious in a comatose state, something unthinkable was happening. Dr. John Sublime, a man obsessed with controlling mutation, harvested eggs from her body without consent. But this wasn't just a violation of one woman's autonomy. It was the first step toward creating one of the most dangerous weapons ever conceived against mutant kind. The Weapon Plus program, the same shadowy organization responsible for Captain America and Wolverine, took these stolen genetic materials and created not one, not 10, but thousands of identical mutant girls. Each one possessed incredible telepathic potential, and together they represented Weapon 14. A living weapon designed with one horrifying purpose: to eliminate every mutant on Earth. These girls weren't raised, they were incubated. They weren't allowed to grow naturally, but were artificially aged in the subterranean levels of a facility called the World. Most remained dormant, suspended between life and consciousness, waiting for activation. But 5 of them were selected for a special mission that would change everything. When the Xavier Institute opened its doors to the public, 5 identical blonde girls arrived as new students. They claimed to be quintuplet orphans, but something about their story didn't quite add up. The faculty should have investigated further, but strangely, they never did. We would later learn that the girls had unconsciously placed mental blocks in the minds of their teachers, their first display of their tremendous psychic abilities. These 5 quickly earned the nickname the Stepford Cuckoos, a reference to their identical appearance and somewhat eerie, synchronized behavior. Though they preferred to call themselves the 5-in-1, highlighting their hive mind connection. And who should take a special interest in these mysterious new students? None other than Emma Frost herself, completely unaware that she was mentoring her own genetic daughters. But even among identical sisters, differences emerge. One cuckoo, Esme, began to stand apart from her siblings. She developed a crush on another student who turned out to be Stuff, an undercover Shi'ar agent. This might seem like typical teenage drama, but for Esme, it triggered something darker. Humiliated by her romantic failure and increasingly jealous of her sister Sophie's growing influence, Esme turned to Kick, a dangerous power-enhancing drug. And she didn't act alone. She secretly aligned herself with Zorn, who was masquerading as Magneto. What makes this story particularly tragic is how Esme began manipulating her own sisters. The hive mind that was supposed to connect them became the very tool she used to control them. When Quentin Quire led a Kick-fueled student rebellion at the mansion, the Cuckoos intervened by collectively linking with Cerebra, the school's mutant detection system. With their powers amplified by Kick, secretly administered by Esme, they managed to stop Quire's rebellion. But the victory came at a terrible cost. Sophie, exhausted and overwhelmed by the strain, collapsed and died. What no one realized then was that Esme had deliberately influenced Sophie toward this fatal outcome. The tragedy didn't end there. Shortly after Sophie's death, Emma Frost was shot with a diamond bullet, the perfect weapon against her diamond form. While Bishop and Sage investigated, Esme fled the mansion, fearing discovery of her involvement in both Sophie's and Emma's apparent deaths. When Esme returned, she wasn't alone. Standing beside her was her lover Zorn, still pretending to be Magneto, along with his Brotherhood of Mutants. Both had become mentally unstable through excessive Kick use. Their relationship was volatile and dangerous, and ultimately deadly. When Zorn withdrew his affection, Esme's fragile emotional state shattered. She turned against him in desperation and rage. His response was swift and merciless. Using his magnetic powers, Zorn drove Esme's metal earrings into her brain, killing her instantly. The betrayer became the betrayed in a moment of brutal irony. In Marvel Snap, Esme Cuckoo is a 3-cost, 4-power card with the ability, on reveal, Copy a card from your deck into your hand. Set its cost to 3 and power to 4. This game mechanic brilliantly captures the essence of Esme's character in several meaningful ways. Her power works within your own resources, your deck, rather than affecting opponents directly. This ingeniously reflects how she operated in the comics, manipulating those already close to her, particularly her sisters, rather than external enemies. The internal focus of her ability captures her preference for behind-the-scenes manipulation within her own circle. There's also a poetic irony at play here. Esme herself was created through copying. She is, after all, one of thousands of clones created from genetic material. The fact that her game ability centers around copying creates a meaningful parallel to her own origin story. She was created through copying, and now her power in the game is to create copies. Thank you for taking this journey with me. Who do you want me to cover next? Let me know in the comments. Until next time.